Hello and welcome to another episode of Taste and Drink, Single Site Series, Episode 2. This week we are going to be looking at a wine from Domaine Charles-Pin-Tissier, a 2016 Marsannay Le Longeroies. Now, Marsannay is the northernmost village in the Cotes de Nuits, or Cotes de Roi, which is the most important wine growing region in the world. Now, if you break down the Cotes de Roi into two parts, you've got the Cotes de Nuits northernmost, then Cotes de Beaune, the southern. Now, northern are very, very well known for their Pinot Noirs, particularly the villages of, say, Longeroies, Gevrey-Chambertin and Chambol-Musigny. Right up the top, there's a value village, Marsannay. Now, Marsannay, as the slope comes up towards Dijon, the large city where Dijon mustard comes from, the slope starts to sprawl out and become flat again. Now, it doesn't have any Premier Cru or Grand Cru vineyards. However, there are a few vineyards in the making to become Premier Cru. Le Longeroies and Clos du Roi are those wines. If you look further down the côte, the Grand Crus are in the middle because there's a perfect amount of drainage, gets a great amount of sun, and it usually has the best balance between clay and limestone. Now, the thing that Clos du Roi and Le Longeroies have in common is that they're also in the mid-slope. One thing further, Le Longeroies can be broken up into three parcels. Two in the top, on Chevenois, and Dessous de Longeroies. Now, that is the top component, which consists of a limestone slab. The southern component, below the road, is Bas de Longeroies. Now, that's lower, with slightly redder and richer soils, which produce wines of more substance. Now, Domaine Charles-Pin-Tissier have vines in both the Dessous de Longeroies and Bas de Longeroies. So what it does is it produces a wine of really quite ample fruit, and if it was just from the lower, it'd probably be too much. But because it's from the upper as well, you get this beautiful balance between sweet fruit and jaw-clenching minerality. So let's have a little smell. On the nose, you're getting a huge amount of very ripe wild fruit, both red and black. It would be overwhelmingly so if there wasn't this incredible sort of tension that you feel in your jaw. So if you're at home drinking this wine, have a smell and notice the sensation that's happening there. Now, on the palate, it's an incredibly full wine. It's got a Kirsch cherry and a strawberry liqueur and a blackberry liqueur, but it's also got this beautiful line of acidity, almost this sort of lime juice, not in a detached way, but in a very sort of pleasing way, very complementary. It also has superb minerality. And that's the thing that keeps this wine in check. So if you look at what we've talked about, we've got three components, two of which are particularly important. Upper with a limestone slab, lower with a clay, rich, red sort of marl. It's mid-slope, so it gets good drainage. It's 275 metres elevation, so it's not too high that it gets a lot of cool breezes. And it isn't too low where it's affected by frost or heavier soils. Southeast facing, so it gets the best sun of the day, and it produces a wine that's beautifully balanced, full, yet taut, and is a lovely drinking wine. Thank you very much for joining me this week, and we will see you next week. Great. Thank you, and bye.